Today we're doing a map analysis on all of the new maps coming in the next update, telling you the best brawlers for each new map. Let's do it. Alright, so you're probably wondering, where's more sneak peeks? When's the update coming? And I don't have any more sneak peeks for you today, and I don't know exactly when the update is coming. We're hoping for it to be very soon. But in the meantime, I want to do a map analysis on all of the new maps coming. I thought it would be really fun for you guys to figure out the best brawlers for all the new maps. I played a good amount on each of the maps, yes, just for spots, but I still think it'd be a good idea to go through these maps, talk about what sort of brawlers are best suited for each of the maps, and just do a quick run through on each one. There's a lot of really unique maps coming in the next update, so I think the brawlers, it's really going to change up the meta. Honestly, the best brawlers after the update is going to completely change. But not only because of balance changes, but also because of just there's totally new maps. Like Brawl Stars is so map specific, so the best brawlers are going to be completely different. A lot because of just there's totally new maps, and what brawlers are best is going to vary depending on the map a lot. So let's start out with the Showdown maps, and make sure to let me know what map you're most excited for coming in the update too. Starting out with Dune Drift, the newest Showdown map in the game. It looks really fun. I think you guys are really gonna like this map. There's a good amount of walls on this, but the walls are really unique too. A lot of them curve. There's some grass, a good amount of bushes. The bushes, of course, don't respawn anymore, which is definitely something to note. So none of these are gonna respawn, but I'm pretty sure the majority, if not all, the Showdown maps was like that anyways with the grass. So I think tanks are going to be decent on this map because of all the grass and the walls. I also think really long-range brawlers are going to be good on this map because there's some really long corridors where those super long-range guys can attack people from use their full range, essentially. I also think other mid-range brawlers that are really good at scouting out the grasses are going to be really good on this map because there's enough walls for those mid-range guys to really use that range. I think you're going to find in the lower trophy levels, the tanks are going to be pretty strong on this map, but as you get higher up, most everyone is going to be checking the bushes really well, and you probably will find tanks be not as good then, and you'll probably be playing more mid-range characters. I think mid-range characters will be the strongest ones on this map, and then it'll probably be long-range. Now our old buddy, Stormy Plains. Stormy Plains was in the game in beta. A lot of you are probably familiar with this map, so I'll be quick with it, but a lot of you aren't as well. All right, first of all, throwers. Throwers, super strong on this map. It's similar. The best brawlers for Hot Maze are going to be similar to this map. It's going to be really similar to that. You're going to play a lot of throwers, probably going to see thrower teams. You're going to play thrower counters, as in Mortis and tanks who have a lot of high health, a little bit faster move speed. Tanks also counter Mortis. And then you might even go even further and go like tank counters as well. You can have some long range guys, but they're going to be just okay. Like Ricochet can work on this map because he can use that bounce ability. Brock can work because he's super long range. And once he gets his super, he can attack over walls and break down walls. So that's going to be the gist of this map. Okay, now let's go over the heist maps, because honestly, I think the best heist brawlers is going to completely change, because these are some really, really unique heist maps. Starting out with Twist and Shoot. This map, well, first of all, there's 3 distinct lakes. I mean, this is really going to change, but also too, there's not much cover. Yes, there's some walls, but you're forced to go down these narrow corridors without cover in the corridors if you want to advance up the map. So I think that's something that's really something you want to key on. I don't think tanks are going to be super strong on this map, although with the exception of being Daryl, who can really use that roll ability on the water to get an even longer roll, and he can roll from really distinct places on this map to get next to the safe. So like Brock, and I actually think Piper is going to be used more in Heist because of some of these maps. You can use Piper to decent effectiveness on this map because of the really strong corridors. It's going to be really hard to advance up the map, and a Piper can hit those shots pretty easily on this map. Throwers are going to be okay in this map, not as strong as normally. I think throwers are definitely going to be not as strong in the new Heist because of some of these maps, and this is one of those exceptions, or one of those maps. Throwers still going to be strong here, but they're not going to be like some of the top 2, top 3 brawlers that you might normally see in Heist. In general, though, long-range brawlers are going to be really good on this map, I'd say. Now let's do Corner Case, and this map is going to be completely crazy. I can't wait to see if this is going to be like a really fun map, or if it's just going to be insanely frustrating, because it's going to be really difficult to know whether you should attack or defend a lot of different times, because you are not going to be able to do both of them very well. You're gonna have to pick and choose which one you want to do a lot of times. I think Ricochet is gonna be insanely strong on this map because of the bounce ability, and there's such narrow places you have to go on the map. Like on any side you want to go, it's really obvious what direction you have to go. There's like a 2-tile gap to enter in any of those 3 places. So Ricochet's gonna be really strong no matter which way you're going. Colt's gonna be a good option too. Brock gonna be pretty decent. I think Daryl's gonna be a decent option here as well. Tanks are gonna be okay, but they might also get destroyed if people see them coming because it's a really narrow area, so it's gonna be hard to dodge shots. Throwers are gonna be fine here, but I really think it's the long range guys that are gonna be super strong. But maybe defending throwers might be needed as well, so you can attack over different obstacles and really reach different people depending on where you are on the map. Also too, this is the one map where you actually spawn the furthest away from the safe. So if you get a really solid attack going on the enemy safe and you get some kills, they're not gonna respawn right away on the safe, which is really different from the other maps. So you can have an even longer attack on the safe than normal. Now for Bridge Too Far, this map is completely insane for Heist. There's like no cover at all. This is gonna be a really long range map. I honestly considered almost not putting in throwers because of how long range is gonna be and there's no cover for them. They're not gonna have many, like they're not gonna really be able to use their range to their full advantage because they're gonna be facing all these people who outrange the throwers for the most part. But threw in Dynamite because at the least he has that jump ability so he can switch lanes really easily. Also, Daryl, really good option. He matches up well versus the majority of the brawlers he's gonna face, and there's some water so he can get in those extra long rolls potentially if he needs them, or he can switch lanes and attack people from different angles. But I mean, look, this is gonna be a really long range map. Brock and Piper probably gonna be one of the 2 best options on this map because of how long range it is. I think they're gonna be really solid. Even Bo too, with the extra damage, really high health, and those mines, another really solid option on this map. And now Rolling Rumble, the last Heist map. I think this map is gonna be played pretty similar to Forks Out maybe. I think you could end up seeing some double tank, maybe like a Bull and an El Primo or a Bull and a Daryl, something like that, and definitely a thrower, at least one thrower on his team. You could go double thrower on this map as well, or throw in Spike instead of a different thrower. Not gonna see much in long range on this map. Too many walls to really use that effectively. You could see Nita, a really solid option on this map, or Leon, enough grass and enough walls to really utilize that range to their full advantage. I think really solid options. You could see Ricochet. If there was any long range option, probably the best one might be Ricochet or Brock. Ricochet can really use all those walls to his advantage, get a lot of different angles, hit people where he can't be hit. Brock is just a really good option in general, so he's gonna be solid pretty much no matter what. And now for the one new Brawl Ball map, Pool Party. Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna really not like playing on this map because of how often people are gonna throw the ball on the water and just completely delay because the ball is just stuck on the water for it keeps on rolling. It doesn't get completely stuck, but it can be on there for like 10 seconds. Anyways, this map, actually I think throwers are gonna be really solid here because of all these walls. Also because you can use throwers in your spawn and attack people and like behind there, and even if you're stuck in there, you can use those walls in your spawn, and there's another wall in front of your spawn. And throwers, there's enough walls. I think throwers are gonna be really solid here. Also really strong choke points because of all the water. Also too, Mortis got a nerf because of now whenever you shoot the ball, you use an attack, and that's a huge nerf to Mortis, so that actually gives throwers another buff in Brawl Ball overall. So throwers are definitely going to be more solid in Brawl Ball overall. Otherwise, really mid-range characters, super strong on this map and in Brawl Ball in general, and brawlers like Colt or Spike are going to hold their own on the side of the map really well. I think Jesse's another solid option because I think people are going to group up a lot on this map too. And now let's go into the new bounty maps, starting out with Bull's Pen. I feel like I had to include Bull on my best brawlers for Bull's Pen. I mean, come on, his name's in the map name. But actually, Tanks just got a huge nerf in bounty with grass no longer ever respawning at all. So Tanks are definitely gonna be not nearly as strong in bounty as they were before the update, so that's definitely something to watch out for. There are enough like obstacles on this map with the trees and enough grass that Tanks are gonna be strong at the start of this map, but towards the late game, Tanks are probably gonna be pretty weak. So you're gonna have to wait and see. I think they might be okay, but I also think they might not be that strong. But we'll see. I think for the most part, you're going to want some long-range guys. Penny's going to be a solid option because that cannon's going to be able to place behind any of those obstacles and be stay alive for the majority of the map a lot of different times. Brock really solid. Pam really solid on this map. Same with Spike. Gonna scout out really well, hold their own really well. I also think Ricochet is another low-key really good option on this map because he can use those obstacles really well to get decent bounce shots in. And Bo is honestly going to be one of the best brawlers for bounty going forward now with that really solid damage buff, I think. He's going to match up well versus the majority of brawlers in bounty with a really high amount of health. Those mines are solid for bounty too because it's a very map position game, and also too he just got decent damage now, and a lot of the brawlers he faces up don't have much health, and he's really good versus them. Now for dry season, honestly this is a really long range map. I think with shooting star removed, this is now probably the longest range map in the game that's suited for long range brawlers in bounty. And especially too, there's some obstacles, but they're gonna go down fairly quickly. The grass doesn't respawn, as I said, so I would stick to long range brawlers on this map. Brock, Piper, Pam. You can do Spike and Ricochet, but they're a little bit shorter range, low health. They're gonna get outclassed to a degree. You can do Colt, he's not bad. I would probably go with Bo, he's a solid pick. You can do Leon as well. There's some other options you can go with, but those are gonna be the main ones I would say. And now we have honestly two more really interesting maps for bounty. Starting out with Excel. Honestly, a great name. I think this map is going to be kind of fun to play. There's so many obstacles and so much grass that's honestly spread out. It's going to be hard to destroy it all. So actually, tanks are going to be really solid on this map, I think. Throwers as well. Penny is going to be really good on this map, especially with that cannon. Brock and Piper definitely still usable because there's really long lanes that is going to allow them to get good shots in. If people do want to take shots, they're going to have to peek out, and Brock and Piper are going to be able to get hits on them. Ricochet really solid on this map. Or no, just Rika. What am I saying? Colt, don't want to use Colt on this map. Too many walls. But yeah, tanks, throwers, and super long range guys like Brock and Piper are going to be really good picks for this map. And now for the last bounty map, Layer Cake. Honestly, I feel like this one was the hardest to figure out. You could maybe play throwers on this map with all these choke points and walls, but I think there's too much grass for them to be really successful. I would stick to brawlers that can scout out really well. Also, to any high damage, high burst damage brawlers are also going to be really solid on this map, I think. People are going to poke out and be able to hide and heal up a lot on this map, I think. So you're going to want really high damage, really high poke damage on this map. Scouting out, definitely a really solid ability as well. So brawlers like Pam, Spike, Crow, going to be good for stuff like that. Brock and Piper, even Ricochet too, going to be really good. For burst damage. Ricochet can be good at scouting out as well. You can maybe play tanks on this map some. Definitely enough walls to at least consider it and have decent success. I don't think they're going to be really strong though. That's probably going to be the gist of it. And Bo's, of course, going to be a solid option, and Leon too. Make sure to check out my analysis of the new brawler Gene right over there if you haven't yet. It's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.